Hello guys, this is Leo from Quotes on Posters, and today I'm going to talk about this quote here. Treat your body like a temple. Hope you enjoy. So, how to treat your body like a temple? Basically, we eat the stuff that we put inside our body is very damaging to our body, because we haven't grew up with a good education about food at all. And most of the foods that we see in the supermarket, most of the stuff there is really bad processed food that is actually food to make you to make it very tasty, but is food that is created to be very cheap to produce, and that is designed that you can buy it also for a cheaper price and have a lot of taste, great taste, a lot of fat, salt and sugar, right? And these things, we don't actually realize that most of the stuff that we see in these foods, especially processed foods, are things that are really poison to our body, right? And our body is our soul, is our main driver that we need to it's like a car. It's something that we have to really take care of without damaging our body, because it's all we have, right? Our body and our mind, body and mind, basically constitutes everything that we have, which is our soul, right? And I think that we live in a world that is constantly giving us bad things for us to feed our body and our minds. Specifically today, I think I'm going to be talking more about the body, right? Then I'm going to be talking about the mind, because that's what the quote means, right? Treat your body like a temple. And I think this idea of your body being a temple, I don't know who actually wrote that down. I think it was someone famous. I forgot, maybe Jim Rohn. I don't know. It's not written here, but I think that if you think of your body as your most precious thing, together with your mind, which are, and think about, if you treat it nice, how many great things you're going to be able to accomplish and to achieve in your life. And if you treat your body in a bad way, your body, you're going to suffer the consequences of it. So for example, if you're a smoker, you're going to feel the consequences of it. If you're if you're a drinker, you're gonna feel the consequences in your body. If you take drugs, you're gonna feel the consequences of your body. All this stuff that you do, they alter your body. They change the chemicals inside your body, and it creates certain deficiencies, right, inside your body. So you're gonna be able to understand that what are the poisons, what are the things that you are actually consuming nowadays, currently, that are actually poisoning you, right? So you gotta understand that, because I think most of the people, they actually don't understand that. They actually think that what they are eating is actually good. They think that is okay, but most of the times it's not okay. So for example, sugar is one of them. I think people still really don't understand how bad sugar it is, and refined sugar. And you can see online, you can look and you can see many studies like showing how bad processed sugar is, and it is to your body, right? I think another thing is carbs. And I understand carbs, it's something important. Of course, it is part of something that belongs to the three macronutrients, right? It's carbs, fat, and protein. And it is important to have some amount of carbs in your diet. But I think that in the society that we live, especially, and not only in the Western culture, but also in the Asian Eastern culture, also both, the diets, they are very carbohydrate based. So a lot of places, like for example, Mexico, or anywhere in the world, the United States, Europe, like if you go to the Philippines, for example, you see that, or the Arabs, or if you go to India also is a good example. A lot of things are based on rice. If you go to Italy, a lot of pasta, pizza, all these things, like a lot of carbohydrates everywhere you go. And then people, as you understand, carbs are important, but these cultures, they put much more carbs in their diets than they should. And if you want to have a good balance of the macronutrients, you want to have like 25%. I'm just giving you an average here, and I'm not a specialist, so don't take my advice as a medical advice. But anyway, a good rule of thumb would be 25% carbs, 25 fat, and 50 protein. Like, I mean, if you want to build muscle, and if you want to live a much more healthier life without much fat, right? But most of the diets and most of the people, when during the day to day, the way they eat, they end up consuming much more than 25% carbs in their lives. And also they take the bad carbs, you know. So they take like this processed things like bread, and they eat a lot of wheat, right? Like a lot of bread and pasta and these things which are not really good for you, right? There's some theories talking about wheat, saying that to cut the bread. And I know basically also some things you just don't take all the advices that people give and take it as a source of truth, but try it for yourself and see how it works, because each body also, you got to understand that we have different metabolisms. So some people they develop muscles much better than others, and some people are they have more energy than others, right? And this is something is totally related to the genetics and to the metabolism. That's why some people they go to sports, some people they go to more intellectual activities, which is kind of normal. That's like how the genetics plays out, right? But so don't take all these advices. Try things for yourself. Try different diets and see what works better for yourself or not. Like for me, for example, now I'm realizing that whenever I cut bread, because I used to eat sandwich in the morning, like it used to be my breakfast thing, it used to be like a sandwich with cheese, and I was like, I thought it was kind of healthy, or even like avocado toast and these things, but the toast and the bread itself can be really bad for you, because these carbs can really slow down your metabolism when they are digesting, these kind of things. Another thing is coffee. Coffee is something that for me, it's a drug, and that's again something that society really don't understand. And society fails to understand that coffee was not supposed to be consumed by humans. I think there are studies that say showing that actually coffee. I heard that somewhere, that coffee is something that insects. It's a mechanism of the plant. Caffeine itself, not coffee, but caffeine is a mechanism of plants to get rid of insects who wants to actually eat the plants, and it's kind of a poison for insects. And imagine like you're drinking this and it's giving you this energy, which is great, right? But it releases dopamine from your brain, but at the same time it gets you hooked on it, because it's creating it's stealing this energy from you, and you believe that is giving you energy. But after I quit coffee, I just realized that it's not giving you energy, it's giving you momentarily and taking from somewhere else. So there's not this thing, there doesn't exist this thing about energy being given. It's all a balance, and that's the thing about life. So your body and nature and life, everything is connected, and you kind of understand and you kind of see these things. So for example, if you take a drug that gets you super excited, for example, imagine you take like some ecstasy, MDMA, and then you're super excited and happy. This will actually rob you in the following days, and then you're gonna feel down. So you kind of understand that, and you see that there's no magic. People want to believe that there is magics, but there isn't. You are what you are, and there are vitamins which you should take, and and there's always a balance. You should never overtake anything and stuff your body with stuff that are not natural, right? So talking about food also is important for you to be aware of natural eating as much natural things as you can is also very important, right? So try to stay away from processed foods. Try to eat as much natural as you can, like natural fruits, meat, vegetables, good things. Try to get away from processed, canned stuff, because these things, they are full of chemicals and they are full of additives. Also, be aware that many companies, they fake their labels. So sometimes they say organic, but it's not really organic. Be aware of these things, do your research online. And again, as I say, trust your body, trust the signals that your body gives, because there's no one else but you who should tell you if something is working on or not. So try to put yourself in a position where you are like an observer of your body. That you are really observing how your body is reacting to certain things or not. You know what I mean? When you start treating your body in a good way, for example, when you start exercising, not only eating healthy, but exercising your body, also take care of your breathing, don't drink caffeine or don't take any stimulants. You're gonna see that your life is gonna be way much better. You're gonna feel much more peaceful. You're gonna be much more. You're gonna have much more energy, even though it's not gonna be that energy of coffee. It's gonna be a much better energy, because it's gonna be like a natural energy, that doesn't rob you after. So you can stay consistent. You're gonna feel consistency through your day. You're not gonna experience those peaks that, for example, you're not gonna have afternoon crashes, right? If you really pay attention to the carbs that you are taking, the sugar and the caffeine and all these things, that you're gonna understand. You might not agree with me right now, but I just tell you one thing: just give it a try. Give it a try and see. And in the beginning, when you're gonna give it a try, you're gonna see that your mind is gonna freak out, because your body is used to that, right? And then you're gonna, like, if you're someone, like, for example, is used to drinking soda and all these sugary drinks, and if you quit that, if you start drinking only water through 1 week, you're gonna certainly freak out, because your mind is gonna give you this advice. Your brain is gonna sabotage you. It's gonna tell you that you need this. It's gonna miss that, right? Which is the same with caffeine. If you drink caffeine, if you're used to caffeine, if you hook on caffeine and you stop drinking, you're gonna start having headaches. And I had many headaches in my life. I had to experience. I suffered many symptoms of caffeine withdrawal. So my key takeaway here is try different things, see what works and what doesn't, and be an observer of how your body reacts, and also listen to other people's advice. Because I didn't really believe about this caffeine thing until I recently started watching some YouTube videos, and YouTube is amazing because of that, because you see real people like me being honest and telling things, because we're not getting paid by any corporation to say anything. And in that sense, this is a revolution, because before YouTube, the only source we had of honesty was not on TV, was with our friends. Because when you watched before on TV is completely biased, right? Is whoever pays, if there's like a food corporation paying and to bring advertising, to bring these people to give their opinions about food, they kind of dictate and they shape culture. So the entire food industry is very malignant, you know. They create these ideas. For example, we have an idea that we need breakfast and we need lunch, we need these meals. But then now we see completely different ideas coming over, like intermittent fasting, which is something I haven't tried yet, but I think it makes sense and I think it's very interesting. So I would be open to try. You know, be open to try things. Don't take things for granted. Be open to try new techniques and new things and see how your body reacts, you know, because as I said, different metabolisms, different genetics, different reactions. Same thing with exercise, you know, see what works best for you. But you basically, what you want to achieve, you want to get a combination of cardio and muscles, right? Cardio and how do I say, muscles strengthening, and one thing is going to help the other, right? Because if you develop muscles in the gym, it's going to help you burn these muscles, because muscle tissue is something that really consumes a lot of energy through your day. If you're someone with a body that is very muscular, these muscles, they are going to digest and they're going to consume energy, and you're going to feel much more alive, right? You're going to feel much more energy, right? So that's why it's extremely important for you to develop muscle tissue. You need muscle tissue in your body, a certain amount, so because it plays out with your energy and with your motivation to do things, which is important, right? And it plays out very well with your diet also, because then you're gonna burn fat by having muscle. And the way to get muscle tissue is to achieve these macronutrients that I was saying in the beginning, right? You need a certain amount of proteins so you can synthesize and you can build muscle. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to build muscle. So there's a lot of things a lot of science, a lot of things you can research about the right amount of macros, but basically taking care of your diet and exercising, that's gonna give you a great body. And having a great body is the beginning to have a great life, I think, right? So think about these things. You need to set your life, think about infrastructure, build an infrastructure for your life. And having a good body and taking care of your body, treating your body like a temple, is a very important principle, is one of the keys to actually have an infrastructure, to set up infrastructure to have a good life. Having a good body, definitely. Okay, so think about it and hope this video really helps you out, and see you soon.